Good afternoon. Welcome. This is Ageless Balance. I am Ron. So here we are. First class of the month. What I like to do in the beginning of the month is always have one shorter class that works on the basics of balance, the balance exercises, because we forget. We forget about how to hold the posture, how to do all these exercises. As the months go on, we start to lose it and we don't think about our posture. Here we go. That's what this is for. Think about your posture. All right. First thing we're going to do is just nice and easy, come up on the balls of the feet, heels up, concentrating on, this is really important, concentrating on ball of the foot, inside to outside, flat on the floor, from the big toe knuckle to the little toe knuckle, and back down. Toe knuckle is fun to say. Bring it up, heels up, get them as high as you can get them. That may not be very high. That's okay. However high is right for you. However high is high. What you want to feel are these muscles in the back of the lower leg working, contracting to lift that heel, hold it, and back down nice and slow. Again, up. So I like to do this seated first because this gives us a chance to make sure that everything's in alignment. We got the knees, the toes, the ankles, the hips, everything. Right? Ankles, that's what they are. Right there, and bring the shoulder blades back, always in that neutral position, and down. One more time. Up. We need strong calf muscles to pick the heel up, because when we walk, that's the first thing we do is we lift that heel up so we can bring the foot up. These have to be strong so that you're not shuffling and the feet aren't flat. So we're tightening up these muscles in the back of the leg, plus we're making sure that we're teaching the brain that that ball of the foot is flat on the floor. And back down. To go with that, the other half of our walking pattern is toes up. Feeling the muscles work on the outside of the shins, right here, the outside of the bones, and back down. Shoulder blades are back, chest is out. Bring the toes up. Feel those muscles working. How high you can bring those toes up, really up to you. They say there's not much above 15 degrees that you can get out of these, so don't expect too much. Still got that back straight. You're on the heel, coming up. Right straight up, everything's in alignment, and back down. Again, it's part of the gait pattern. So you come up, bring the heel up first, lift the leg. As you're going forward, you bring that toe up. And this is where we have this tendency to stub our toe, is because we don't have the strength in the front of the leg to lift that toe up, especially going upstairs, because you have to lift it up so you get past that riser onto the next step. So heel first, and then the toe comes up. So to that end, we're going to go heel toe. Don't roll. Don't roll. Don't roll. We don't roll that way. Heels up, come down, and then bring the toes up. So what you're looking, not back and forth, nothing to that at all. Nothing is gained from it. Toes up, slowly. Feel these muscles working in the front of the shins there, the lower legs. Coming down, and then pick the heels up. Feel those muscles working in the back of the leg. And back down again, lift the front. So these are very distinct moves. Up. And if you can do it slow like this when you're walking and you're not thinking about it, that strength is going to be there. That pattern is going to be there. Picking that foot up, getting the heel up, getting the toes up. Toes up. And other way. Make sure you're still on the ball of the foot, all the way across, inside to outside, and back down. So what happens is a lot of times, a couple things, we roll to the outside, working on just underneath the little toe. All the weight is out to the outside, which stretches out the ankles on the outside and tightens up the muscles on the inside. Or feet in, and then we kind of bring the feet, roll them in. You want them flat on the floor. You want them straight out in front of you. Okay, enough of that. Grab on. I talk too much. Fingers intertwined behind the thigh. Bring the shoulder blades back. Roll back just a little bit, keeping the chest out. We're going to lift that leg up. First time, look for alignment. Knee, toe, hip, all straight. And then bring it back down. Take your time when you get to the top. Anytime you get to the end of range of motion, come to a dead stop right there. And then drop it back down. We're looking for this quadricep here in the front of the leg, upper leg, to tighten up. And then drop down. This muscle's contracting, getting smaller, lifting the lower leg up. Hold it there. And back down. You can bring the toe back if you want and stretch out those calf muscles a little bit. And back down, but the focus are these quadriceps. That's the most important piece of this exercise. Focus on those first. Hand behind the other leg, roll the shoulder blades back. Get your alignment, get the foot out there. And let's go. Let's do it. Down, out, again, stopping at the end of range of motion. You're going to feel the muscle working here in the top of the thigh. You're going to feel the muscle stretching in the back of the thigh. Hamstring stretch. Quad contracts. Up. And back in again. One more time, bring it out. Hold it. And back down. So again, I see a lot of people doing that, just kicking out and right back in again. It's not working this muscle the way we need it to. Shoulders back, always in that proper posture, making sure you've got alignment. Feel that muscle. The more you can feel this muscle work, time under tension, the more you can feel it tense up like that, the more work you're doing to it, the more you're breaking that muscle down so that it can build back up again. All right, sit to stand. So important, so important. First thing you need to do is bring yourself out to the edge of the chair. Shoulder blades are back. Everything's in alignment, knees and toes. Knees are just a little bit in front of the heels. So what you're going to do as you come forward, shoulder blades are back. You're in your neutral posture. You're going to hip hinge. We're going to hip hinge forward. There's a word for it. I'm going to use it. And back again. Bring it down. Just practice this hip hinge. What you're doing is you're starting to get that weight forward, momentum taking you out, and bring it back in. If you're on a chair with arms, you can push on the arms of the chairs. But if, and this happens a lot, you're on a couch or in a chair that doesn't have arms, what you want to do, hands on the thighs, you're still going to do that forward hip hinge. And then once you get out over the thighs, push through the hands, through the heels of the feet to full standing. Let's go back. That was the sit to stand. Now let's do the stand to sit. Back of the legs up against the back of the chair, the front of the chair on the seat. Whew. We're going to push the butt out. Shoulder blades stay back, just like when we did that hip hinge to get up. Weight's going back into the heels as you do this, and gently coming down on the chair. Do this one more time, up and down. Bring yourself out to the edge of the chair. If you try to do this from up here, from way in the back of the chair, you can't keep that hip hinge. It's a lot harder. Bring yourself out to the edge of the chair. Hands on the thighs, shoulder blades are back. You've got that neutral position. Straight line, back of the head to the tailbone. Bring it forward. Push through the thighs on the hands and pushing up through the heels to standing. All right. Bring yourself around to the back of the chair. We got some fun things to do here. So we did that heel up when we were seated. Now we're going to do it standing. So really concentrate. Little bend in the knees. Now you're working the core and the hips to hold you upright over those legs. So you just kind of come underneath with the knees bent just a little bit. Lift the heels, making sure that you feel the ball of the foot on the floor all the way across. Stay up there. Feel those muscles tighten up. And then nice and slow. Come back down again. Feel how much those muscles are working, how much they activate as you're going down as well. Again, roll underneath, bring the heels right straight up. Toes are on the floor, but the bulk of the weight goes into the ball of the foot. Toes are for balance. You should be able to pick those toes right up off the floor and have no change whatsoever. And back down, knees stay bent just a little bit. This is really easy to lock knees out. We have them back completely behind you, completely straightened out. You want to have that little micro bend here. Knees going forward just a little bit. And back down again. Back of the lower leg. Okay, next piece. Toes up like that. Nice stretch on the muscles we just worked. Feel that in the calf muscles. Toes up. Knees are bent just a little bit. And down. So what you can do is you can go back, butt back just a little bit, but don't go into this big bend. You've got weight way out back. You got weight way out front. You could go either direction. That's not balancing you. You want to stay over your base of support. So as the heels or as the toes come up, a little bit of a hip hinge, butt goes back a little bit, and then bring yourself back up again. Another way you can do this, excuse me, is with your back next to the wall, not actually touching it, but just picking those toes up and back down. So we want to get a feel for, the brain doesn't figure out, it forgets because we don't go backwards as much as we used to or at all. We don't walk backwards. So that shift, that weight, momentum backwards, it doesn't know what to do. And most people have this tendency, if they start to fall backwards, they fall backwards on the back of their head. Not good. You want to be able to, as the weight's going backward, know what to do. Brain takes over, pulls you back to the center. You've got the strength to go there. All right. That was that. Side leg. Grab onto the chair. Torso right straight up. Chair is not for leaning on. It is for maintaining balance only, so it's a light touch. We're going to take the outside leg and bring it out to the side. Really important on this one. Shoulder blades stay back. That foot comes out parallel or in the same plane as the opposite leg. Out to the side and back in. The other thing you really have to watch for, the toe. The toe needs to point right out in front of you. So you're looking forward, so is your toe. Figuring out what's going on out there. And bring it back in. What you're looking for, the muscles outside of the hip and in the glutes right on the outside there, the medial glutes. These are big muscles for holding your hips stable. Up. We need to keep those strong so that we don't have that waddle when we walk. Out. And back in. You're going to feel it in this other leg big time. You got to keep that hip in as you lift that other leg. I have this really bad habit of coming out to the side like that. I have to concentrate on bringing that hip in, and I feel it on the outside of that leg all the way from the ankle bone right up to the hip and back in again. So you're standing right straight up, bring that leg out to the side. So it's not leg goes way up, you bend the other way, or the leg goes out front at an angle. This is just coming right out the side. Feel those muscles working. Hold it and back in. Stationary side. So engaged. Up and back down. I wish I had stronger hips. Up and glutes and bring it in other side. So not having those strong hips causes me a lot of problems because when I walk, I don't have that nice strong stability through the hips, and I have this tendency to waddle, and it hurts my lower back. Shoulder blades back, chest is out. Here we go. Little bend in that knee on the stationary leg. Foot flat on the floor, ball of the foot to the heel. Looking for that triangle across the ball of the foot to the middle of the heel. Out. Leading with the heel. So the toe is forward. At the very least, toe is forward. Heel can go out and keep it back with the other leg and shoulder blades back. So you've got that nice alignment. You're coming right out to the side. Holding it and bringing it back in. One more time. Out. And back in again. All right. We worked the quadriceps. We worked the outside of the leg. We worked the hips, the butt. Now we need to do these hamstrings. Hamstrings again, lifting the leg up. As you bring that foot up, the knee has to bend and the foot comes up. So we need strong muscles in the back of the thigh. So what you can have is knees side by side, legs side by side. Knee points right down to the floor. Bringing the heel up, and back down. How high your heel comes up is really based on what your body's able to do. If you find yourself leaning forward to try to get that up higher, don't do that. Push on the back of the chair. Shoulder blades are back. However high you can get it, that's as high as it goes. But then, wait, there's more. Squeeze one time. It'll come up just an inch. And then drop it back down. But you will feel those muscles really engage back there. That's when we're doing the most work right there in that squeeze at the top where you can feel the muscles really start to engage, really get that little burn in there. You know, you're breaking that muscle down, which is what you want to do. Up, squeeze it. And back down one more time. Hold and release right straight back down. Other side. Same thing. Stationary leg, foot flat on the floor, little bend in the knee. Always remember that. Weight shift, your torso is right over that stationary leg because that's where your support is. Shoulder blades are back, chest is out, knees back. Bring that heel up as high as you can get it. Squeeze. And back down again. Again, up. Squeeze it tight. And back down. Keep the torso upright. Keep it straight. Don't let yourself lean forward. And back. It always feels like we're doing so much more if we cheat the exercise or cheat the stretch because things are moving more, but it's not really helping. We're looking for these muscles in the back of the leg. That's all you want to hear or all you want to feel or hear, I guess. Up if they're talking to you. And back down one more time. Bring it up. Hold. And back down. Side to side. So there's times we have to go side to side that we have to walk. Laterally, what we want to do is get that motion right. So it's heel up, off the ball of the foot, step out and back, toe stays forward. Watch what happens to the torso as you do this. Bringing up the heel, ball of the foot, stepping it in and back. So you weight shift. Right now I'm right between the two legs because I've got all that support down there. When I bring that foot up and I'm only on one leg, I only have this leg for support. I shift on top of it, step out, and I'm right back here again. Up and in, nice and slow, take your time. This doesn't help you, just pushing off and coming right back in again. Pick it up, very separate. Every inch you're controlling. And down, always get used to heel up first, ball of the foot, and back in, same on the other side. Pick it up. Oops, step it out. Was wobbling there. Heel up. So whenever you walk, it's always heel, ball, toe. You pick the heel up first, then the ball of the foot, toes come off. When you go forward and back, you want to do the same thing side to side. Make sure you're picking that leg up high enough that the foot is not going to drag on the floor or on the ground. Up and out, weight shift between the legs. Wherever you're most stable, that's where the torso should be. Up and back in one more time. Out, step, and back in again. So a variation on that theme, take your right leg and step it over the left. So take your foot, pick it up, just like you did going out to the side, step over, and step back. So I don't know how many times I hear from people when they fall, I don't know what happened, my feet just got tangled up. They do, because we don't pick that leg up. If we don't have the strength, it's going to hit that foot if you go sideways or if you get turned to the side. So practice picking that foot up, lifting it over, and setting it back down again. So if something does happen, you do get pushed, you can pick that foot up over, give yourself a base, and get back again. So it's up and over, up and back. Same with the other side. Again, really concentrate. Don't go around the front of the toe and think you're doing it. What you have to do is get used to picking that foot up, stabilizing on one leg, and then back again. Crossing the legs and not tripping. Up and back. Up and over. Up and back. One left. One left. Fun one. Tandem stance. So tandem stance is toe, heel in alignment. What you're doing is you're limiting your base. The closer the feet are together, the harder it is to stay upright. Core gets really involved at that point. Ankles, everything's working. Hips down to hold you upright. So to start out, just bring the feet kind of together, pretty close together, side by side. And then take the right foot and just step it back, straight back, next to the front leg. Now the toes of the right foot are right next to the heel of the left foot. Find your balance there. Use a chair with this one until you feel like you're really comfortable. You got a little bend in the knees, feet are flat on the floor. Always concentrate on keeping the feet flat. And then from there, if you can, and a lot of people cannot do this, and that is one leg back, one leg forward. So now you have that tandem stance. Notice I've got a space between the toe and heel. I do that. Reason being, so many times I've seen people step on the heel as they're coming around with that foot and they start to lose their balance. I'd rather have you pull it back just a little bit. This is this move you do when you're in an aisle, in a theater or whatever, where you've got to try to get through a very narrow space. And then just hold that tandem stance. Hold on to the chair as much as you need it. Knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor. Just get a good feel for the feet on the floor. That's the most important thing. This requires a whole lot of ankle strength. And if you don't have that, it's okay. Take the chair. You start out, if you're using the chair, take the hand, hold on to it, then start lightening up just the palm of the hand. Then start going to the fingertips and then pulling one fingertip off at a time so that you're very, very little use of that chair. It's all right here. All right, other foot forward. Other foot forward. Start side by side. Take that left foot, step it back. Toes of the left foot right next to the heels of the right foot. And just find that balance first. Hold in there. And then bring the foot around to the back if you can, if that is right for you. If you can get that foot back there, perfect. That is fantastic. If you can't, you do the best you can. As long as you can narrow that base, you're strengthening up all these muscles in the legs. And eventually you may be able to get that foot behind, or you may not. There's some people who can never do it, and that's fine too. You've got the strength to hold yourself up when you have a limited base. That's the key with this one. And then just hold in there. Like that. We are not going to do, but what I really like is walking that way. So the best way to do that is if you have a countertop, hand on the side, and just step. Have the hand right here so that you've always got something, or in a hallway. In a hallway, so if you do fall side to side, you can catch yourself. The harder one is definitely the backward one. Always have support before you try this one, especially if you haven't done it in a long time or you haven't done it at all. But always have something next to you that you can lean on if you need to. That way, don't touch the walls. Make the core and the legs, ankles do all the work as you're going, but you're safe because if something does happen. That's how you can build the confidence too. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it, as always. And I will see you next time. Practice these exercises every day. Go back to this video, watch it again, and then do those exercises again until you have them memorized. And then you can do it. Good way to do it, shopping cart. When you're at the store, that's a great tandem walk opportunity. It's also a great time to leg up to the side and back down. I love shopping carts for that. All right, guys. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. I will see you next time.